Hi, I'm Casey Kearfott.
And I am Adrianne Cornejo. And we are here with insurance agent Reid from Clemens Insurance. And we are going to be talking everything homeowners insurance. So before we dive into that, we are going to be making a drink called the apple pie on the rocks. So I don't know about you guys, but apple pie, like you think of fall with apple pie. So
Here, do you want me to hold one?
These things taste. Oh yeah, because we're so high
We're
this
so
time.
high, you can't see.
All right.
You got a fun ice ball.
So we're using cheap vodka here, vanilla, but just a vanilla vodka, any vanilla vodka. You do 1 ounce. I'm gonna go ahead and put in all of them at once, but all right. Got a little Fireball whiskey. Not actually one of my favorite liquors.
No, this is not sounding good.
I'm telling you, it's so good. We had them last night.
I don't know.
It tastes like an apple pie. You're gonna be surprised.
I've never really loved
You don't
a
like
happy hour drink, so maybe.
I don't know. I think you'll like. It's a way sweeter than
All right.
most of them. All right, 4 ounces of apple juice.
Except it's not. It's deceiving. It's deceiving. Right?
And then we're gonna do a pinch of cinnamon. Some of them have a little more than a pinch. This will be interesting. With that's what I was scared of with the big bowl. I should have used the other one.
It's job's done. Job's done.
Well, except for that's supposed to have a rim of brown sugar. Here, we're gonna do this one. All right, let's do this here. You gotta take a little lime.
Yeah, I don't want brown sugar on mine. So.
I'm telling you, you need the brown sugar, Casey.
Well, it's too late.
Just that added
It's
flavor.
not too late. It's so good.
I don't know. I do like to eat just brown sugar plain.
Yeah, you need to put the
You
brown
eat
sugar on it.
plain?
Yeah, with a spoon. It's like dessert.
I
It's
did.
not sticking to this one.
I understand. Cinnamon toast is my favorite thing. So
All right.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Garnish it with the cinnamon stick. There you go, Reid.
awesome. Thank you very much.
I'm telling you, Casey, you want the brown sugar.
Okay, fine. I want the brown sugar.
Now that you're soaked in
Fine. As long as
I swear if you get pulled over, you're going to smell now because it went flying everywhere.
I don't. Yeah, I think we'll be okay.
I think so too.
It's raining.
What's your favorite pie?
Apple.
That's your favorite? Have you ever had sour cream apple
Actually,
pie?
I guess really, if you want to get technical, my favorite is French silk.
Ooh, I like a good cream
But-
pie. Those are my favorite.
But not a lot of people know how to make a good.
Look at that.
Chocolate silk, so apple. But I like to make apple
I like
pie.
peanut butter, like the chocolate peanut butter cup cream pies. That's probably my favorite, but
Reid?
I don't eat pie at all.
Of course you don't.
That's my one dessert I don't eat.
I like sour
Wait.
cream apple pie better than regular apple pie. It sounds gross, but you don't really taste this. It's amazing.
You know, I love pie crust, but something about it,
Secret ingredient to make the best
Do you like
homemade pie
cake?
crust.
I love cake.
Secret ingredient for the
cake.
best homemade pie crust is vodka. You use vodka instead of water, and it makes the crust consistency different.
I'm sure that's why my.
I'll have to tell Danielle that.
If she makes homemade crust, I tried it once because I, read it on a food blog, and it was
Hit the ground running.
everybody was like, "Wow, that's the best crust."
That's wild.
That was the only thing that was different. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Thank
Oh,
you.
Casey, you didn't get your little cinnamon stick.
It's okay. We're gonna.
It's pretty good.
Tastes like apple pie. What? Really?
No,
That's not even strong. Like it just
No.
tastes sweet.
What does it taste like to you then?
I don't know. I don't like it.
Oh my god, you wouldn't.
I'll try another sip, just to see.
I just
big
think it
ice
just
cube
tastes
thing.
like. Well, I was like maybe the big ice cubes,
Makes you-
where this
Stop.
is watering it down a little more.
I don't know. Little hair on your chest.
What you think that tastes strong?
No, it's fine. Everyone, you should try it at home.
It's good.
I think it's
good.
really sweet myself.
I think it's fantastic.
For a drink, I think it's pretty sweet, but not overly
Listen,
sweet.
it's really hard to.
Perfect time of year for it.
It is.
hard.
I think it's good.
Halloween
Anyway,
night. This
I
is
bet you
perfect.
though, like honestly, you could like make that into a hot toddy.
Like you serve it hot
Hot.
without the ice. Yeah, I'm sure that would be
Warm
really
the
good. Then
apple
it'd be a
cider
hot apple pie, right? There we go.
I like it.
A la mode, add a little ice cream.
Gross.
Yeah, that would be so. No, not if you do it like the Red Robin shakes.
Kind of like a
Or
root beer
I
float.
guess if you could probably add some Bailey's cream in there,
Ooh.
and then
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right.
try it and let us know.
Try and let us know. I personally, I really like it.
I'm
I
content.
mean,
Tastes
I'll have
great.
another drink just to confirm, but I'm pretty sure it's a no-go.
Well, let's dive in and talk about some insurance.
Fine.
Okay. All right. So, Reid, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Who you are.
Who you are.
Absolutely. So like I said, I'm Reid Butts with Clemens Insurance, born and raised here in Bloomington, Normal, all within 3 blocks of each other. So that was always fun. Over at Clemens Insurance now for almost 8 whole years. So life is going quick. But yeah, so been there for 8 years, started right out of college and hit the ground running there.
Okay. Well, the next question is how long have you been an insurance agent? But it's
You've
8
already
Eight
answered
years,
that.
8 years.
8 years.
You know, I was the weird 5-year-old kid telling people that I want to sell insurance. So it's just one of those that it came to fruition and all that. And it's just the looks I get is funny. Just what the hell is wrong with you? Yeah,
Hey,
I know.
you're a natural salesman.
something like that.
Now, did your dad sell insurance?
My dad is in the group benefits division, and he'd probably kill me, but I think it's 40 years now that he's been there. So
Oh,
he's
wow.
done it his whole life. Yeah. So a little different, but keep him in the basement dungeon, and then the fun people are upstairs. Casey can agree with me on
I
that
mean,
one.
So was Tom in the
No,
basement?
Tom was upstairs. Tom was it because my dad, Tom Kearfott, works at Clemens too, and sold trucking, like over the road trucking. insurance.
Transportation.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
There, Reid's gonna tell us. Okay, what types of services do you provide, Reid?
So in regards to services we provide for home insurance, we basically can provide everything under the sun. So we have about 10 direct contracts with carriers of various names of the Travelers, the Hartford, Auto Owners Insurance, Hanover Insurance, Selective Insurance, the list goes on. Through them, we're able to offer basically very, very broad products. What I like to call them is the Cadillacs of coverages across the board, probably the best products in the world, in my opinion, or nation, I should say. We can offer flood insurance. We can offer, you name it, we can get it. Pet insurance, auto insurance, everything.
So you guys are basically brokers, right? It's different from calling like State Farm, where the
Correct.
only option is State Farm. No offense to State Farm. I'm just
Correct.
trying to.
That's
I'm just trying to break down
yeah,
the difference, right?
Right. I'm gonna back.
Versus a broker who has options of lots of different companies they can
Correct.
provide insurance from.
Correct.
And you
correct.
can shop around multiple prices, types of policies, coverage, that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we get multiple phone calls a week just saying, hey, our insurance went up. Well, the positive of working with Clemens is we have another 9 carriers. We'll shop you out. We'll find you competitive rates with them and save you money. And we're doing that left and right now.
Gotcha. Oh, Tom was on the entertainment committee, huh?
I'm not sure.
That's what your mom is
I'm
saying.
sure.
Oh,
think-
Beth, don't be tooting his horn right now.
I think he played the biggest strips every so often.
He was a factor involved in those.
Yeah. But
So, all right. So why is it, obviously it seems obvious to us as real estate agents and you as an insurance agent, but why is it important to have homeowners insurance? Obviously, if you have a mortgage, it's required. You have no choice.
Right.
but if you don't,
But if you don't, it is an option.
Correct. I mean, think about the rains we had back in June, late June. The heavy rains that we've incurred and the damages that I would say probably 50 to 70% of Bloomington Normal suffered in their basements. You don't have homeowners insurance. Odds are you're looking, what we've seen in our office is probably $30,000 to $75,000 in damages that you'd probably have to pay out of your own.
That was the average claim.
Average claim was in that ballpark. Yeah.
Wow.
So when all said and done, if you don't have proper insurance in place, one, are you getting down there and remediating all the damaged property, basically eliminating mold factors? That's a big thing going on right now,
Yeah.
especially, we've heard some carriers are declining a lot of those claims.
I was just going to ask you, so this was one of our questions on here, but since you were talking about the rains, like
Right.
because we've had all these crazy rains, should people look into getting flood insurance?
That's a great question. I would.
As a blanket statement, would you
Yeah.
tell everyone to get it, or is it something you really need to evaluate case by case?
I would personally myself, I would look into it. Reason being, there's carriers out there. Now, if you were in a floodplain, what I have noticed with the flood policies I have written, if you're in a flood zone, your premiums aren't cheap. I mean, you're talking.
Like, is it a true floodplain, or like?
If you are in a true, perfect example, I wrote a house down in Clinton, Illinois. Their backyard had like 1/100th of the yard was in a flood zone. Premium to cover the loan amount of $95,000 was like $2,000 annually, just for the flood insurance.
That didn't count
And-
the rest of the insurance.
Right. That didn't include her homeowner's policy, nothing. And it was one of those where me as an agent, I'm sitting there like, God bless this poor woman is
Yeah.
being forced to buy this policy that she will never ever, knock on wood,
I mean, she
never
might
ever
use it.
use. Right,
Yeah.
right. But she is being required to spend an extra $2,000 because a tiny segment of her yard is in a flood zone.
So it doesn't matter if the flood zone goes over the structure or not. If it's anywhere on the parcel,
You are.
You need-
It's typically more expensive.
So
Now,
if you're not in a flood zone,
well, and if you are though, if I could be wrong, but if you have a mortgage, I believe they require that you have it.
you have no option.
You have no
then,
option.
yeah, no,
They won't
It's
approve
not a-
the loan. They won't do
Right.
anything. So
Yeah.
now we have done a few for other homeowners, other customers of ours, where they're not necessarily in a floodplain, and the premiums are under $1,000, and
Okay.
you're talking like $250,000 in coverage. So does it hurt to look? No.
Yep.
But I think we looked it up. I think 2% of our policyholders would carry a flood policy within Clemens. Just you tell them the premium. Most don't want that.
yeah. I just because there's a lot of people. I think we've been hearing.
Well,
things
like where
people-
I live, we're not in a true floodplain, but the water table is super high. I live
In
out of
Crestwick.
Crestwick.
Right.
Every time it rains, power goes out.
That's where the customer was that bought the $250,000 policy because what is it? Whole
It's insane
13
what
that
insurance is out right now. So that is one of our questions. So what types of things affect your rate for insurance? Aside from the flood, right?
right.
On top of the flood, what other types of things can affect?
Yeah,
the price,
absolutely.
Because I know the side of Crestwick I'm on, the insurance rate is significantly higher than the other side of the course,
What side of the course are you?
the old side.
So you'd be on the west side of the course,
Yeah,
correct?
west side is the best side.
Oh, gosh.
Well, what I'm thinking about is on the east side of the course that I insure, and I wouldn't say it was necessarily inexpensive, but lots of factors. Replacement
Our
cost.
fire index is higher on our side. So that's why. So the
Yeah.
fire department reported a higher fire rate recently. So everybody on our sides went,
So they're just saying it. They think it'd take a little bit longer for them to get to. That's what they're considering the fire rate. So things that factor in what people first. Thing,
well, and I think the number of fire claims that have been over there also.
but I know a few of those houses. But biggest factor a lot of people don't look into is your credit score. Your credit score is factored into your home policy, home and auto actually. So a lot of people sit there and go, "I've never been in an accident." That's great. But what's your credit score look like? Because that, unfortunately, it does play a factor nowadays. Value of what you insure your house for. That's a major, major, major factor. Now carriers are starting, what I like is stuff that we as homeowners can help control of is, alarm systems, Nest, Google Nest, the Ring doorbell, all of those carriers are starting to like to see homeowners put that in. You're going to get discounts for that because it's more temperature monitoring of the
I'm gonna check in on
home.
that. I've
It's
got all
kind
of
of a-
those fancies.
Right. So,
My insurance agent.
right. There's some small small factors right there. I would say the credit score is actually the biggest one right now.
Okay.
But
And that's really one that a lot of people don't think about.
at all.
Yeah.
They don't understand why that affects the
Well,
rate.
and things we like to do at Clemens is the replacement costs. I couldn't tell you probably 99 out of 100 times someone sits and argues with me about what it's going to take to rebuild their home. And that's fine.
So this is a good. I'm glad you brought this up. So
This is a big difference
Well-
between types of insurance.
well, and here's the thing: because building costs have gone up substantially.
Yep.
I mean,
What are we doing in that matter?
yeah.
We're
do it.
rerunning replacement
That's what
cost
I was wondering.
estimators.
Like,
So,
if I
Yeah.
wanted to make sure I
So
was
it may be a lot
covered-
different now than if you've had your policy in place for 5 years, it might be time to call
Right.
read and find out if you have enough coverage.
Right. So things we're doing, and we're thankful some the travelers, auto owners have all adjusted their replacement cost estimators in the last 12 months because of that inflation. So going forward, those new quotes we get in there, they're based off the inflated pricing. So I couldn't tell you how many times I've got that. Oh, I'm only buying the house for $200,000. Why am I insuring it for $380,000?
Yeah.
Well, just because that's what you bought it for doesn't mean that's what it takes to build it for. So what we do is we bring them in and say, all right, turn the screen over. Here's the replacement cost estimator.
So you're going to come up with the difference. Yeah.
Right. Let's sit down and do it together.
So it's kind of like a gap insurance rate on a car.
Right. Exactly.
You might only owe so much, but to actually cover, well, I guess it's not quite like
it's
that.
not the same.
Because you're going to cover your loan with the other, but
correct.
You're not going to be able to replace an equivalent home.
Well, and that way I always tell people, look, I'm not just pulling a figure out of my rear end here. Sit down with me. Then at the end of the day, if you want to tell me your kitchen is basic, you can tell me your kitchen is basic.
Oh. Hey, we're on a like.
So no,
so with those so since we've talked about the replacement cost, because it's October and it's fire safety month.
Oh.
Here we go, Reid.
Yep.
So if you have a fire, like what are there things you should do when you move into your house or when you get settled? So if you have a fire, you have documentation of what you had, like contents.
Yes. So every homeowner's policy I write, I always encourage as soon as you sign apps, next thing I want you to do is go back to your house with your phone, walk through every room and record it. Send it to your email, send it to your spouse's email, whoever, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever they may be, send it to them. That way you have multiple ways of getting that video footage. Because time of claim, the last thing you're thinking about or able to focus on is
exactly
every little item. And if you're like my mother, who's got 27,000 little trinkets of this size, there's no way you're going to be able to
Well,
pick
I
them
get a
all
little
out.
worried with like my bags and my shoes, and I want to make sure that that's.
I just ran into your mom at Rosie's
That's not good.
not too long ago.
There's a funny story where
And I saw her not much before in an estate sale. So I bet she does have a lot of trinkets because she said she loves estate sales.
it is one of those. When COVID started, she was in Morton at an estate sale, and all of us kids were like, "Go home."
She wanted to shop that sale.
Oh, she found a dresser, bedding, everything, and it's just like love her to death. But yeah, there was multiple stories with that one. But yeah.
So I bet she does have a lot of trinkets. I like a good estate sale too, though. I mean, I ran into her there. So.
Right. It's it's sadly
I can't say much.
They know her by name because I insure one or two of them, and if I make a phone call, haven't seen Liz in a while. My dad's thankful.
But yeah, because I know when people have most people would not think to do that, to record or to go through
Truth be
and say
told,
what
I would
you
think to do
have.
that. I don't have that at my house.
No,
I don't.
Well,
Maybe I'll go home and do that tonight.
perfect example is kind of think back to the Washington tornado. You
Oh my
had
gosh.
thousands of people without homes, everything completely demolished. What are you? I mean, you're trying to focus on getting your claim submitted, and you're just so distraught.
Yeah.
Your entire life has just been destroyed.
And yeah, so how's that work with contents, right? So you have to have some sort of record of what you had.
That's why we asked. For the video.
Otherwise, your content coverage really does no good.
Right. So that's why, yeah, exactly. We want that video for that exact reason. Jewelry, guns, for stuff like that.
Jewelry is its own palette, like an add-on, right?
get one.
Scheduled up. Correct.
Yeah.
So I always encourage people, me being a hunter, like I have my guns insured, sentimental value on a lot of them. So that's the reason being on that. But a lot of people don't think of it like that because there's only specific amount of coverage for firearms on your homeowner's policy that is specific.
What would be typical?
$5,000 to $10,000.
Would be included.
Would be included.
So anything over that.
But the catch
is it the same for jewelry? It's the minimum.
Well,
what's the typical jewelry coverage?
Yes, there is some endorsement on there that can include jewelry, but it can range from $500 to $1,500.
So pretty much, if you have any jewelry over $1,500.
Well, there's a catch. That coverage on your homeowners is specific to theft only. So if you have a fire in your house and you have a total loss, that $1,500 doesn't apply for the jewelry.
Gotcha.
So wedding rings, everything under the sun that is something of value, I always say insure it. Better to have it insured than not insured at all. Yep. So
And then if you were to ever be in a situation where you do have a tornado or a fire, should your like that happen, what's the first call they make to you, their insurance agent?
The way I operate,
After
yes,
you call
it's
9
always
after you
yeah,
call 911.
yeah. Call 911, get the gas, everything shut off, and that whole 9 yards. But yeah, I always tell my customers I like to be the first point of contact. So whether you're in a
Okay.
car, whatever it is, call me first, and I will do whatever the heck I can to help delegate.
Well, and you
or-
know the ins and outs, right, of
Yeah.
how to get it taken care of the fastest, what's the proper,
Right.
because sometimes a
Protocol.
claim gets kicked out, not because it wouldn't be covered, but because maybe it was submitted improperly.
Right, and so that's why I want them to
Yeah.
call me, because when all said and done, if there's a reason something didn't happen, whose fault is it? It's mine. I have
Yeah,
no one
so
else
you
to
want to
blame.
be able to deal with it.
Yeah.
Right, I'm a hands-on type person, so.
Makes sense.
So we just have two more questions, and one is, when it comes to insurance, what's the difference between income property and
A rental property?
a rental
Yeah.
property?
Yeah.
Like if you have a rental,
Rental, but you also
versus-
have your own
so
you
what's
have
the difference in
homeowners.
rates? What's coverage look like? Like what's your recommended difference for coverage? That
Should you
type
have
of
an
thing.
umbrella?
So yeah, rentals are fun. I have a love-hate for rentals, because I did
Oh.
rented property management for 8 years. So
You worked there?
I was if there's an eviction, there I am, throwing stuff out, doing the whole 9 yards, escorted by the sheriff into the unit, everything.
Wasn't that a fun job?
That's why it's a love-hate right now. So yeah, no, I look at rentals though. It's an investment. It's a retirement plan. It's a thing you might be planning to hand down to your children, grandchildren, whatever that list might be. So, I always tell people, like I just said on the homeowners, I'm going to give you the Cadillac coverages. I might be over-insuring the structure, but quite frankly, I know what goes. I
Yeah.
know what's going on in these. So
Yeah, because tenants don't care.
right, exactly. So things that are different though is you don't typically get business personal property. So instead of personal property, it's technically business personal property, not commonly written with those rentals. So we always want to make sure that okay, is the washer and dryer yours? Is the stove yours? Is the mic? Those loose pieces,
Yeah.
are they yours or are they the tenants? We want to cover that if you have a loss that you can rebuild and put new ones in. Another thing is loss of rents. So a lot of people don't think about that. So
So you can get coverage for that.
yes. So basically, and again, it's an investment. You're still
Right.
just because your house is burned down doesn't mean the bank is going to stop your mortgage payment.
What?
So
No?
right, exactly. Gotta love those bankers. No I'm kidding. But when all said and done, that just helps supplement. So basically, as if you were still having that tenant in there, that the structure's still standing and the tenant's there, you can still collect a monthly rent to help pay those utilities, the mortgage, taxes, stuff like that.
Makes
A
sense.
lot of people don't look into it, but it's
Yeah,
money.
I wouldn't have thought. I mean,
Well, and the common cost. So what I typically do here in Bloomington, and you guys can probably attest for this, but the common rental cost is probably around 1,000, give or take $200, $300, $500. So I always quote $12,000 as if you're quoting
For rent, you mean?
for rent. So I just quote it
I
as
think
if
it
you
depends on the place, but yeah.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, per unit. If it's a multi-unit complex, I still
Right.
do $1,000
Per unit.
So
Yeah.
that way, at least
At least you're getting something.
here's 12. Well, and again, I put the ball in their court. Here's $12,000 in coverage. It costs $34. So we could double it. Odds are it goes to $68. That way you can get an idea of the rate, and then just kind of put the ball in their court.
Let them pick.
Right. So a lot of factors people don't think about. And then last but not least is debris removal, where on your homeowners, that coverage is built in to that replacement cost, where commercially it's not.
Oh, okay.
So we always
Debris removal can be expensive too. Dumpsters aren't cheap.
I can give you a very real prime example. I won't use any names, but I had a customer who building burned down, bids to remove the debris were $35,000 to $85,000.
Oh,
And then they found out asbestos was involved. And then it jumped to
Oh.
about 50 grand to 100 grand. So
that sounds cheap considering asbestos was
right,
involved.
right. So, but
Because
it's,
that's insane.
it's just some people don't think.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it personally, but it was just one of those that luckily we had enough coverage on the policy.
Wow.
perfect. Last question, Reid. Why do you love your job?
That's a great question. No, I'm kidding.
I was like, you're gonna put him on the spot.
Right,
with
no,
this
no,
I
one.
no.
just did.
You know, and I'm a people person. I like talking to people. I like meeting new people. I like to help people. It's my passion. It's just something that, I'm not stuck behind a desk. So if I want to go out and meet 20 new people today, I can go out and meet 20 new people today. There's no limitations. There's no one sitting there hard,
You're like
Handling
self-employed, but you're not self-employed.
basically.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Lots of flexibility.
Lots of flexibility. Yeah. And we go by the motto of you sell, do what you have to do.
Yep. So we'll put Reid's information in the comments. He is great. You can, he's a great insurance agent. He's at Clemens. So
If it's something other than homeowners or
he
your
can do
primary
it.
thing's commercial, right?
Yeah. I mean,
That's what it said on Clemens.
what I
site.
was brought in to do was sell commercial policies,
Yeah.
but and the guys at Clemens can probably attest for this one as well. There's nothing under the sun that I haven't worked on or quoted or my cool policy I've written, I'd say is, hasn't been released yet, but the motorcycles that were ridden, 3 out of the 4 or 5 motorcycles in Top Gun 2 we insured. I found a way to write policies for those to cover. While Tom Cruise was riding them, we found some policies to cover.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was. So I'm just sitting here chomping at the
How'd
bit.
you end up doing that from here?
I have customers all over the country. So
You
it was
do?
a customer out of Chicago.
So you guys are licensed for insurance in every state?
If not every state, maybe
Pretty
we're
close.
missing 5 or 6.
Okay.
Personally, I'm licensed in Texas, California, and here.
Where are you at?
California, Texas, and here.
Okay.
But if you want something besides commercial, call
Talk to
Reid
Reid.
and
If he can't do it, I'm sure he can get
there's
you in touch
plenty
with
of
somebody
people
else there
in
that
that
can.
office that can.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's
facilitate.
willing to figure any of them out though.
We can find something for it.
So that's great. You want to talk about our houses real quick?
Yeah, this will just be quick. We have no open houses this week. We have 2 houses on the market. We have 202 State Street in Saybrook. It's 2-bedroom, 1 bath for
Well, we're lowering the price tonight.
to 58.
We got to upload some new pictures. We got some new pictures. I think we're lowering it to 58.5.
5. Yeah.
58.5 or 58.
It's super cute. We just got done staging it today, so it's amazing. So if you're looking for a house kind of between the Bloomington, Champaign, Gibson City area, it would be perfect. It
First
does
time
have-
buyer rental.
Yep, has a 1-car garage.
It's been used as a rental prior.
Yeah.
And so, but it would make a great first time home
You
buyer
wanna-
or rental.
Talk about Ohio streets.
And like you haven't been there, have you? So 116 Ohio in Sibley is it is a REO, it's bank owned property, so it needs a little TLC, but it has got so much space for the money. It's we just actually lowered that one to, you lowered the price for me because I was on the
29.
road. I was like, it was
29.9.
29.9, under 30,000. It has 3 bedrooms, 1 bath.
If you've never been to Sibley, you should go because their downtown area is so cute and they have the best little store. It's called The Store, and you walk in and it's got like kitchen things and little gadgets. It's
Well, I've heard
awesome.
their 4th of July is quite the.
Yeah, well, there's also a clothing store there too.
It's real close to Gibson City.
What? I had to check it
The
out.
store
when I
is
was
great.
there.
No, it's good. I love it.
But it's great house. It's an older home, lots of original hardwood, original trim, original wood banister, lots of potential there, fireplace, really is it a 2-car garage, detached. Yeah. So if you're looking for one that needs a little work, but you could get make a little money on, be a great flip, rental, or first time home buyer as well.
Yep. And then we have 2 coming soon. We have 13 Worthington Court coming on the market. That's in Hawthorne Acres, and they'll be 1.2. No, 11 was a lot.
Oh, you have 11. Anyway, all right,
Oh.
just making sure.
No, it is 11.
I was like 13's the one we
Sorry,
sold
13's
already.
a lot. It is 11. It's 11 Worthington
Sorry,
Court.
sorry, wasn't trying to call you
1.2.
out.
It's okay.
They don't want to buy a vacant lot for that.
No. And then we have 222 Meadowbrook, and it's just a 3-bed, 1 bath. It has a 1-car detached garage, fenced-in yard. It does have a laundry room and a sunroom, no basement.
Yeah.
So if you don't know where that is, it's off of Lincoln Street over by Lakeside.
Yeah, across the street from Lakeside over there.
Yep.
That's wonderful.
So That's about it. Everything we have keeps selling as soon as it
Yeah.
hits the market.
But thanks for watching.
Yes.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook. Thanks, Reid, for coming.
Yes,
Thanks
thank
for
you
having
very
me.
much.
Do you have any questions about
We haven't
insurance?
had an insurance guy on yet, so
Call Reid.
yeah, don't call us.
No.
We'll tell
Bye.
you to call Reid.
Yeah. Bye. Thanks for
Bye.
watching.
Thanks.